Hey, everybody! It's Midnight Edge After Dark! It's Monday! Boo!
It's not
Boo.
after dark yet.
Well, it is where I am. Yeah, with me as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Greetings.
And I'm coming to you from Shabby Road Studios, and with us as always is the ever lovely and brilliant resident fembot, Miss Mecca Random.
Hello. What was it that greetings? That's a weird one.
Yeah, we do the best we can here, so it's strictly I'm just an amateur public address announcer. Okay, I have to maintain my.
What? You're in public wearing a dress?
Yes, I'm in public wearing a dress. It's Chanel. Don't you haven't you noticed? I only wear the best public dresses.
That's correct. Designer.
Rob, Eric Kelly, hey, Timon Flip, Eric Kelly, Darathon, Captain April, Terry Light, Sarah Faramus, Jed Raybold, Chris Burkhart, Mary Highland, 1060, Demon's Reflection, Slithering Peanut, hey, Brandon Heaton, hey, thank you for joining us, everybody. Eric Kelly wants to know if I was objectifying myself to Nina Harley. Always. I always objectify myself to Nina Harley.
He had to wait for me. The delay was my fault this time, actually, because I was discussing Andre's latest editorial with him. So,
yeah. Speaking of which, I hope everybody's enjoying our Critters documentary.
Yeah, it was a labor of love, and we did it really quickly over the weekend. Hopefully, you guys like it. Hopefully,
you like it. Yeah,
I still need to watch it. I have had no time to do anything. I need to watch it still.
Well, you're not supposed to say that.
I know. It's the best ever, and you totally need to.
I'm gonna have my soundboard up, so you're fired.
So,
I mean, it's the best ever.
The rabble have been roused, Mecca. So, all right, let's get right into news. Okay, at 2:42, time index.
Yeah, we got some news. What's going on in your world, Rob? You said something about a body being found over there. What'd you do?
So there was I didn't find it, but you can check local news. There was a body found just down the block from where I live. Fortunately,
you ruined the joke. I set you up perfectly.
Damn it! Error.
There really was a body found, and we had a joke set up, and Rob ruined it.
What was the joke?
You were saying, "No, I wasn't with a hooker this week."
Oh, damn it.
Ta-da!
Reminds me of that David Tell bit. And he goes, what's the most abused drug in the world? Anybody? Alcohol? No, aspirin. Aspirin, you know why? Because it works. It does everything. It thins the blood, takes away the headache from a hangover. It's good for arthritis. I think they should put on the bottle what aspirin won't do. Aspirin will not bring a dead hooker back to life. So stop taking it. Roll her up in the carpet. Burp.
All right, we're going to get in trouble. Let's get to the news, the real news anyway.
Okay, breaking news. Well, it's not really breaking news, is it? But
well, some of this is stuff, rumors we've kind of reported on in the past. Bill and Ted, we've got some confirmation.
There's our teletype machine. Breaking news. News coming. The Bill and Ted news is coming right in over the wire.
Well, we just found out that August 21st of next year is when to expect the film in theaters.
Yes!
As I said before, as far as I knew from what I heard from early reports and other things, because I've been following this since way back when, I think even before I was part of Midnight's Edge, I've been following this story.
Yeah, same here.
George Carlin's character will not be in the film, and it will be addressed as far as his absence goes. And I think it was Ed Sullivan who handles it. But the Bill and Ted 3 Twitter, the official Twitter, which again I'm pretty sure he does. I got my reasons. But anyway, said that they will not be recasting the role. It will be a very big part of the story, and one of the most saddest scenes in the film will likely have to do with talking about where he is or what happened, what have you. So as I predicted early on from early reports, the absence of Rufus will be a big part of the film. From what I heard before, the story basic outline is that something went wrong in the future. Somebody did something to ruin the, Bill and Ted doing their thing, and possibly Rufus being gone may have something to do with that. So I think they worked it into the story really well. And it sounds like they're paying respect and homage to him. So
yeah, actually, spoiler: Mikey Spock's mom affected what happens in the future. That was so fucking.
So are we going to go from "Damn it, Barry" from Flash now to "Damn it, Mikey Spock's mom"?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Mom and Spock. I don't know.
Who remembers the Flash joke? We're pulling out and dusting off an old one there. That's from that's one of our older ones. And then the other news, this was real exciting. This was something we reported on way back, like almost a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's confirmed now, right?
Yeah, or were you with us then? So it might not have been that long ago. But yeah, William Sadler will be returning
Yay!
as the Grim Reaper himself.
Yay!
Don't overlook my butt. Reaping burns lots of calories.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. You sunk my battleship.
Best of three. Damn right.
He made that movie. You would not have had that movie be as good as it was without death.
I will take you back.
Yeah. And then William Sadler is actually really good.
He's
good actor.
Hilarious. And he's a great actor all around, but yeah,
very underappreciated.
What's ironic is I just got my Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey score finally in the mail today from Germany.
Nice.
I mean,
don't play any of it because we'll get demonetized.
No,
again.
I won't. Yeah, I'm not fucking even gonna try that. So I attempt it, but God gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to everyone. And there you go. There's our fulfill our Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack requirement. God gave rock and roll to you. God gave rock and roll to you. God gave rock and roll to everyone. Put it in the soul of everyone.
So
in the soul.
Yeah. I was one of the first
you
bits
might
I
be
ever
a
wrote.
king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the Reaper.
One of the first bits I ever wrote when I started doing stand-up was when James Blunt, he had a big hit with that song "You're Beautiful."
Yeah.
Ew.
And I said the only way that song can sound good is if it was sung by William Shatner.
Yes.
My life is perfect. My life is pure. I saw you on a subway. You were with another man. You're beautiful. It's true. And then I pulled triple out. I saw your face in another place. I'd be like singing to the triple.
You got to spin it around and go like, oh, sorry, wrong end.
Oh, wrong end. I'm sorry. How can you tell which end is how can you tell which end is the business
feel
end
for
of
the teeth and feel for the soft hole, I guess. I don't know.
No, actually,
Triple would like that too much.
Patrick Oliver, no, I actually do not. I do not remember the Bill and Ted cartoon show. I actually did not.
I do. I actually have it, and the DVD is only missing a few episodes. And sadly, for some reason, in the second season, I believe it went from either CBS or ABC then to Fox. Okay. And what happened was the original first season has George Carlin, Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter all doing the voices. And I believe it even has like Ed Sullivan and some of the original writers working on it and stuff. So it's very true to Bill and Ted, even though it's obviously kidded up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the second season, they went and changed the aesthetic of the show, changed the voices, changed it to goofier kind of stories and stuff, and went really off the rails. But that first season is killer. It's just sad that most of the episodes that are missing from the DVD set are from the first season. Especially, I believe one of them is the Babe Ruth one where they meet Babe Ruth. So that's what I remember from when I was a kid. But it's actually a pretty good cartoon. It was on not Hulu, but I think it was on Crackle for a while, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if it's out there, somebody in the comments, if you know, let us know, and then that way Rob can check it out. Otherwise, I think the DVD is pretty cheap. Just make sure you get the 2-disc one and don't buy the separate 2 versions. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
I
Cad's,
guess they just have it on YouTube. Sometimes they just have them on YouTube.
It might be on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll probably be able to see at least something of it on YouTube. Cad Sniff Sick John, whatever it is. When you guys are gonna do another documentary style video, we actually check out our Critters documentary that just dropped.
Yeah, those are on the main channel.
Those are on the main channel, yeah.
Yeah, generally once in a great while I'll do kind of one when I do a review, but very rarely.
Yeah, but we got there's a few things in the pipeline actually.
A few?
Well, listen. Okay,
You literally have probably between 10 projects that are either in the process of being
they're in various states.
It's various states. And I've got at least 4 interviews, I think, in the can, right, Mecca? Because you're part of one of them. And that was a while ago.
Oh,
so
yeah, that was like in the summer.
Yeah, we're getting there. Now that we got the Robert Shea one out, we're getting there. So
one of the things, like, so, you know, what tends to happen is we're working on one thing, and then another thing will just fall in our laps.
That's what happened with Critters. It was like all of a sudden it just happened to be, you know, all this kind of went together, and I told Andre the basics of the series because he can't watch it over there. And he's like, "You're fucking kidding me," and I'm like, "No,
watch it
because it's on Shudder, and I guess Shudder's only in the U.S." So it hasn't made its way over to other places yet. But he's like, "You're kidding me," when I told him all the spoilers of the show, and he's like, "Oh, we're definitely doing a mini doc now." So
does Andre like Critters? Does he like?
He loved the first 2 films, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, that's just. Should we say about a certain guy from the 80s, an action hero? There's a documentary that's in the can. We have to finish it. So we say
about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, but the other guy.
No, you don't talk about him. He's my arch enemy.
You know,
my peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
But at least he's not Bruce Willis, right? He's greedy and lazy.
All right, that's enough. Yeah, but that gives you an idea of there's something. There's something actually. There's one in the works, a certain action hero.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting to find out when a certain trailer might drop. But yes, that's one of them that's in the works. There's a couple DC related ones in the works.
Yeah, can I split part 2 of the DC?
Yeah, go ahead.
Part 2 of the DC abandoned films. Actually, I got the script and I gotta record it. And there's a couple DC. There's another DC, something else DC related that it's gonna take a while to record. And I think
Andre's talked about it, so you could probably say what it is. It's a Superman mini documentary.
Okay, yeah, it's a Superman. That's a lot of ground to cover. That's why
mini is operatively not the word used here, but
imagine if we ever get to the point where we start doing full-fledged documentaries. I mean, what's that going to be like?
You guys already do, pretty much.
Practically, yeah. I mean, if you put commercials in like the Halloween one and stuff like that, or any of the Spider-Man ones, they definitely would be full-fledged.
Yeah, that's a little. I mean, jeez.
Well, what counts as a full documentary? Because I don't think they have the same. I think as long as it's over like 45 minutes, isn't it? It's a full-fledged documentary. I don't think it matters for a documentary. I don't think there is a time limit on a documentary.
Well, anyway, that's what we got.
Documentary shorts. So yeah, maybe there is. I don't know. So somebody else knows out there. That's something I don't know about. Let me know in the comments or chat. So yeah, get to the chopper.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's sort of on tap for the main channel. That's for the main channel. There's a lot of frivolity coming on this phrasing on this channel.
But we got some more news to talk about. Here's something quick. Let's just say. Well, besides that, and Apple TV, of course. TV Plus, as it's being called now. I seen the preview for it just before we went live here. I guess according to Kevin Feige, we're not going to be seeing any new Endgame footage. Even the TV spots are going to be very sparingly with any new footage. So I guess
I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm already hearing it's 3 hours long, which I kind of figured it would be anyway. But
man, am I gonna have to bring a pee bottle in with me?
Yes.
They're gonna have
Damn
to
it.
make a P corner.
Hmm. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm getting to the point now where even if I have to take a leak within a half hour, 25 minutes, I had to take another leak when I'm sitting down.
Oh,
Like, I should just not drink any fluids before.
they need old people showings where they pause the movie every half hour.
Intermission wouldn't be a bad idea.
They can bring back intermission. That would be fine.
We now pause for this brief intermission.
Well, the rumor is they may have an intermission. I wish they had intermissions during the Lord of the Rings. They needed an intermission just during the ending of Return of the King.
Oh my God! Get on the boat and go away, please. Get the hell out of there.
I'm like halfway through that. I'm like, they could have saved most of these for the extended version. Holy shit!
It's the end of Return of the King was kind of like a heavy metal album, or kind of like there was that song Metalhead by Blotto, which had like 4 or 5 fake endings. Remember that?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it is because, like, the logical ending probably just would have been the hobbits having their little love fest on the bed. But oh no, there's like 3 more endings to go. So,
and in the book, actually, it's between. There's like 5 years between by the time they come back to Hobbiton, but to the Shire, and when they actually get on the boat and leave.
they kind of try to show that in the movie, but yeah.
Yeah, Saruman comes in and he starts building all kinds of developments. Yeah, he literally builds condos in Hobbiton. I'm not making that up. He tries to gentrify Hobbiton.
I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long since I read the books. I see, like, Return of the King is the one I remember the least. I remember the Hobbit book, and I remember Fellowship the most.
I remember who was a friend of mine years ago was complaining about how long Return of the King. Let me move a little closer to Mike. She was complaining about everybody. A lot of people were complaining about how long Return.
Yes, they should hand out colostomy bags with Avengers plastered all over it at the fucking.
That'd be great.
No, I want Iron Man. No, I want Captain America. But nobody wants the Captain Marvel ones. We got a whole box of those.
Then Disney will have to sell them like themselves or buy them themselves.
Oh, you're a big boy. Here's a whole.
Wouldn't that be appropriate merchandise though for Captain Marvel as a colostomy bag? Because that's
Damn.
Depends.
I watch, not to beat this to death too often, but I watched Dave Cullen's review of Captain Marvel. Pretty much says what we've all been saying about it.
Well, it's weird because there's this fan divide. It's there. It's like The Last Jedi, and I would say there's actually more of a divide than Last Jedi because it was probably 2 out of 3 people didn't like The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
this is a very 50-50 movie. But the problem is there's very few people who just like are diehard loving it. You know what I mean? And
my cousin loves it, but she's in her 60s.
Well,
I can see why a 60-year-old woman would like this movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
She likes everything, though. That's the thing. She really does. She tends to like it. She tends to like a lot of movies.
Easily entertained.
Yeah. Somebody was asking in the chat about Orville season 3. So far, no word on season 3. I think they're going to wait till the upfront, which usually happen around late April, early May. Right now, it's not to do too much on TV news, but usually they wait. Upfronts are usually when stuff is renewed, new stuff's announced, and right now it's pilot season. They're making all kinds of pilots, and they're going to be trying to sell them over the next 6 weeks. So that's traditionally, this is the time when they start scoping up Rob for president. No, you don't want me as president. I keep telling you, you do not want me for president. But anyway, like I said, so pilot season,
a rich version of Rod in the White House right now, basically. Yeah, no, you're a little smart.
Yeah. At least I would hire people who know what the fuck they're doing. Anyway.
No, you'd have been smart enough to be like, why did you hire me? Get Bernie to do the job or something like that.
Yes, strippers for everybody. Yes. I would declare Stripper Appreciation Day.
Yes. Stripper Appreciation Day. That would be a Rob.
So do
April
strippers
20
get the day off though?
I think you'd have to tip them extra
Okay.
if even but
Bring 'em
so anyway,
flowers.
yeah. I also I'd have Porn Appreciation Day, June 2nd. I don't know why June 2nd.
Yeah, like just
I don't know.
Just
June
'cause?
2nd seems to be. Well, because June 1st is
It's probably because there's no other holiday in that month, is there?
yeah. Well, no, there's it's first day of spring. Well,
Mother's
it's
Day?
First
Mother's
day
Day's
of
in May.
spring.
First day of spring is what, March 20. First
21st.
day of summer is the 21st.
Of June, yeah. And then no, there is Father's Day in June, yeah. All right. Well, we got way off the rails here. So
Okay,
enough.
well, anyway, so like I said, well, okay, yeah. So that's more of a, fine. Okay, I don't want to see any more of the footage from Endgame. Leave it as a surprise. I want to be surprised. And now we're not talking mystery box surprise. I want to be. I want to know. I want to see less of the movie that way. I'm not saying, oh, I saw that part. I saw that part. Yes. Yes, Nina Hartley would be ambassador to Germany. Yes, Eric.
Well, there actually is a little bit more Marvel news to go with this. I totally spaced it out till now. And Captain April's right. It should be June 9th, Rob.
Okay, why June 9th?
6/9.
Oh, that's right. 6/9. Why didn't I get that? Shit, I'm slipping.
Okay.
This. Hold on. Wait. We got some breaking news. Hold on. This is
it's not really breaking.
This is just in. Breaking news. Captain April is officially my running mate for 2028. Okay, that's it. It's far enough to shot. So if you're gonna implicate me in a scandal, implicate me now. Okay, that we have enough time to get it. 2028. Rob and Captain April. God help us all. So, I think our official campaign slogan is there are 4 lights.
There are 4 lights. Well, isn't it 5 red lights all over the place at once now, or some stupid bullshit?
Yeah, our official campaign song is gonna be "Red Light Special" by was it TLC? Who was it? I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be hookers and blackjack for everybody. It's
better than what we got.
Oh, balls. Speaking of what we got, we did get some more Marvel news today. I totally spaced it out till now. This is why it was a whole nother section on its own. We got some Spider-Man Homecoming posters.
Yay.
And now, normally this isn't something we would generally just kind of share, but the reason I bring up Spider-Man is because we will not be reportedly getting another Spider-Man trailer until after Endgame is released, because the next trailer will reportedly contain spoilers for Endgame. So keep that in mind. Here, of course, I think this is an older poster here. This has been out already.
I like that one.
Yeah. So there you go, guys.
What's the point of putting him in Europe other than to try to appeal to the foreign markets? I mean,
why not? Something new to look at instead of Chicago.
We had 7 fucking movies set in New York.
Yeah.
Well, what's his skill set? Swinging from building to building. There's not a lot of tall buildings in Europe.
You're not
Eiffel Tower,
but that's probably why he's got a new suit.
Well, Sony's been wanting to put him in Europe for ages, though. So, man, they finally did it. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of tend to think of well, we haven't seen Spidey outside New York City. He was in Washington D.C.
Yeah, that's true. And you should expect a Craven Easter egg in Morbius, by the way. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody.
Oh, they're still doing that?
Yep, just like a teenager.
Yeah. So do you think they're going to re-up the deal with Marvel?
The rumors I've been hearing, it seems like it. Now, this is just my opinion, right? But just from some of the stuff I've been hearing, and them continuing to do a lot of Spider-Man less live action movies and more animated movies tells me that they are probably planning on re-upping with Marvel. It makes sense. It makes total sense because it's a win-win for Sony. Yeah, I'm sure they'd like to have Spider-Man in their Spider-Man-less movies, but Venom proved they don't need Spider-Man. And basically, Venom then can be your de facto Spider-Man in this spin-off universe, basically.
Yeah, Black Phoenix 77. Morbius is gonna suck. I hate Jared Leto. Yeah, we all hate Jared Leto.
Just don't be surprised if you hear about, Tom Hardy possibly being in a cameo. I have this feeling they're gonna. This is me again, just having feelings and gut reactions to stories I've been reading and rumors I've been hearing. I have this feeling they're gonna build this universe up around, like I said, because they got Carnage coming, so and stuff like that. It's gonna be built up around Venom, I think.
Well, Tim on Flip says in the comics he went to Florida to deal with the lizard. Yeah, but the whole thing about New York is it's iconic. There's a lot of iconic buildings. There's a lot of hustle and bustle. You know,
but how many Marvel movies have we had?
All of them.
New York, let alone, I really don't mind it because it just, everybody goes on a senior trip, and I like the kind of setup. I'm thinking I might like this one better than the first one, and I was one of the few people that loved the first one. I mean, in recent reviewings, I understand people's problems with it, but Michael Keaton and Tom Holland are so fucking good in that movie that to me, I just don't notice, I guess, as much as other people do. But the setup here, I like this. Go ahead. Sorry, Random.
No, I liked it. I liked it. I don't know why people are hating on it so much. Like that's
JW Spider-Man, but to me, at least, they handled it better than most. The only thing I see is some people are groaning over the joke in the second trailer, when to me it's like, okay, at least they're acknowledging it. They're acknowledging that they could be that bad, where he goes, you look really pretty or whatever, and she's like, oh, so therefore I have value or whatever. And she's like, no, I'm totally kidding or whatever. Because at least they're saying, yeah, we could be that bad, but we're not. We're actually being kind of goofy with ourselves. And they could have been worse and actually named her Mary Jane instead of Michelle or whatever. So I mean, there's things they could have done to really stick it to the fans. So this is one of those instances where sometimes I feel like people are having just they're a
little too sensitive.
A little too sensitive, yes, thank you. But otherwise, I totally get some of the gripes. Because like Flash Thompson, his character is pointless, and unless you're gonna make him gay for Peter Parker. It makes no sense for him to act the way he does. And I get normally you couldn't really have the normal kind of bully situation. And I brought this up in our roundtable or whatever it was back when we first did it. Spider-Man, now Peter Parker as a nerd would be cool in school. He wouldn't be considered an outcast. So at least they kind of got that to the point where, yeah, he's not a totally, the cool kid in school, but he's not a complete loser. He has some friends. He's, it makes sense. And I like how they have Michelle's character being obsessed with him instead of, usually like they have Peter obsessed with Mary Jane or whatever. I like the change. It's a little different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. And plus it was an entertaining movie. I mean, they just made it make sense. It was entertaining. It was well paced. I at the end of the day, you kind of gotta look and weigh things like, can I overlook some of these weird changes if the movie is good or if it's entertaining? And yeah, I can overlook a lot of stuff if they just make the movie good.
Yeah.
Are you talking about hand jobs, Rob?
Well, there was the story about the senior trip. Allegedly two girls gave two guys in Italy hand jobs in an alley. Talking about the senior trip of my high school did in Europe. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on senior trips.
Thinking of like National Lampoon's senior trip or something. I'm just kidding. I know that I'm going to Italy in that movie.
Hey, what happens? What happens in Italy? If I see it, I'm gonna fucking tell everybody. That's all I know. So if I see it, I'm telling everybody. So okay, well, what were we talking about?
All right, remember. Yeah, let's move on from Marvel now, so you can do your little timestamp there. Let's get into some Apple Plus.
Apple Plus,
Apple Sauce. Yeah, I watched the preview. I guess we're getting amazing stories. Otherwise, okay. Was that Jason Momoa as like a Viking or a caveman or some shit? I don't know what the hell that is.
I have no idea.
And Wasn't that part of European vacation storyline? Kind of.
Kind of.
Anyway,
Maybe that's where they got it from.
and then there's like a morning show with Steve Carell and
Jennifer Aniston, yeah.
Aniston.
Yeah, I got it up here. Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, and Steve Carell announced a new TV series called The Morning Show. Doesn't say if they're in it. They just announced it. So who knows?
I seen the preview. I don't know about Greasy though. I didn't see her in it, but
Kumail Nanjiani is going to release an anthology series inspired by immigrants in the U.S. titled Little America. He's that guy from Silicon Valley, I guess, the Indian guy.
Yeah, I've seen him in a few things. I can't name what. Like, he's like a comedian too, and he did. He had a movie.
He was in one episode of Archer, actually. When you see him, you say, "Hey, it's that guy." Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I know who that guy is.
That's exactly him.
Yeah, the Indian guy. Yay, representation. I mean, that's hey, Harry Kondobalu, okay? Don't you think you need to up your game rather than just singling out Apu when you refer to somebody as, hey, it's the Indian guy? Yeah, you kind of failed. I don't know. It's just me.
It's more just tokenism, it seems like.
I'm gonna get them to change Apu, and everybody's gonna thank me, and I'm gonna be a big hero.
You know how they changed Apu? You know how they changed Apu? This is how you guys win when you make these kind of arguments. They put him in the background, and he doesn't say a fucking word anymore. That's how they fixed it.
So he's literally a token.
Yeah, what did you expect them to do? Seriously. I mean, that's what I don't get. I mean,
I wanted to make him more upwardly mobile. He was already upwardly mobile. He has a degree in computer science. He's a business owner. He's a father, a father and a devoted husband.
Well, except for that time he cheated, but yeah.
Yeah. He's devout. He's devoted. He's also devoted to his faith. I mean, he's actually the smartest person in Springfield, believe it or not.
He knows Paul McCartney.
Yeah. I'm Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Man. I hope I will enjoy my show. All right. What else were we talking about? Apple TV. Any idea on the price here as Apple TV Plus?
That's the real question. What price are we going to have to pay? I heard a left nut and maybe an arm.
No,
Apple TV Plus is a new streaming service that will feature original content created by Apple. First, Apple TV.
Sign over your firstborn.
Here's the break. Well, they already want the firstborn anyway. Don't you read the terms of service?
iPhone. Yeah, that was for the iPhone. I forgot.
Yeah. For some of us, a big bundle more than we need, so we designed a new TV experience where you can pay for only the channels you want, all in one app. Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Rob, there's a catch.
Oh yeah, of course there's a catch. Watch everything on demand, ad free. Some of this isn't new. Apple TV already put people connect their cable provider into the Apple TV app using a single sign-in. Automatically log into the app, support streaming if you also pay for cable. New home screen site Apple TV app will serve as a launch pad for finding TV shows and movies to watch, and it will make recommendations it thinks you'll like. The Apple TV app is already available on iPad, iPhone, and Apple TV, but the company will also bring it to Macs this spring. It will also launch on Vizio, Sony, LG, and Samsung smart TVs, as well as Roku and Amazon Fire TV boxes. Apple TV channels and the new Apple TV app will launch through software update in May. Do we get the new U2 album with that again? Remember that? I love Bono. I don't know anything about his music. I don't listen to him. I don't actually like him, but I do love what he's doing.
All I know is I still haven't found what I'm looking for, Rob.
It'll be available in more than 100 countries. Apple also announced Apple TV Plus ad-free subscription streaming service that will be home to its library of original content. This is all from CNBC. This is a service that puts it ahead similar offerings Amazon and Netflix. Sample of things. Steven Spielberg is going to reboot Amazing Stories, that The Morning Show, Kumail and Little America. J.J. Abrams, oh boy. Mystery Box. Oprah Winfrey, Octavia Spencer, Jason Momoa, M. Night Shyamalan, John M. Chu. Who's John Chu? Who's John M. Chu? Do we know who he is?
I don't know.
Yeah, hang on.
Let me take a look at it. John M. Chu and others will also create original content for Apple. All of Apple TV's original content will be available inside the Apple TV app, which means you'll be able to watch it on iPhones, iPads, Macs, even some other devices that are getting
Asians. Now You See Me Too, G.I. Joe 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought he was not Sulu from I thought he was New Sulu actually from Star Trek.
No.
No, it's the other guy.
No.
The other guy? Other Sulu. Other not Sulu. It will launch 100 countries this fall. Apple didn't announce pricing for Apple TV Plus. Okay, and actually, it's done.
That'd be a lot.
Well, on news of this, Roku stock finished up, Netflix stock finished up, Amazon finished up, and Apple finished actually down by 1%. Yeah, hey, we're rolling out a new service. Boom.
Well, that's because people are like, oh my God, come on, for crying out loud, another new service. I think people are already tired of it, and they haven't even done their big conglomeration thing yet. Like, I'm tired of hearing about all. Like, I don't want this content. Like, every time I hear about these streaming services like CBS All Access or Disney Plus or DC's, I'm like, oh, seriously? You're gonna have one show that I might want to possibly watch, and it's never gonna be that good, because if it was that good, you just put it on TV.
What can you possibly give? What can you possibly give me that the others aren't? That's the thing. What can you possibly give me that Netflix or Hulu doesn't, or even like the new Disney or Amazon or Disney? I know what Amazon can give me. They can give me the Grand Tour. Amazon can give me what else? What else does Amazon have?
Well, they can give you what those two girls from your senior trip gave those guys in the alley.
And jobs? Oh, man, I'm definitely signing up. So I wonder if by some accident or miracle, if either of them were listening to this, and as soon as I told that story, they look over to the screen. What? Like, how did he know? Amazon has The Expanse, yes. Amazon has The Expanse. As long as I don't say the names. He's talking about us. How does he know? I'm like, who told him? I didn't tell him. Was he even on the trip? They're like frantically going through the pictures. Was he on the trip? Was he on the trip? I don't see him. Who's talking about us? Who can he be talking about us?
Oh, they're probably like, hey, we're famous.
Oh, Lord. So anyway, Man in the High Castle, yeah. The Expanse, Man in the High Castle, yeah. What else? Like I said, the Grand Tour, Man in the High Castle. And Amazon also gets they have the Orville on Amazon Prime, don't they? Don't they get it a couple days after? A couple days later?
Yeah, the next day.
Yeah.
Or Hulu does. I don't know about Amazon. You might be able to buy it.
I know Hulu it just has it.
Yeah, I have to wait till the next day to watch it. That's why, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
because I don't have the cables.
Demon's Reflection, the increase in streaming services means there's going to be more pirating, since people aren't going to want to pay for all the services for their exclusive content. As long as you have OBS, I mean, it makes pirating a lot easier. Not that we advocate that thing. Not that we advocate that.
What you might want to check out, you might enjoy our discussion with Bill Hunt from last year. That's on the main channel, where we talked a lot about the streaming wars, the prior format wars, and how we kind of predict things are going to go. And that's one thing that will happen, is there will be a lot of piracy, because you're going to see too many places to have to find your entertainment, and it's going to be more expensive than cable. And a lot of good entertainment's going to get overlooked because of it. I have a feeling Cobra Kai might not get a season 3 because of this shit.
And you know what will happen, actually, what might even happen. because they lose so much money on the streaming and the piracy, they may actually still have to print DVDs just to try to make something back.
And they're trying to kill physical media at the same time too. That's the stupid part.
Mm-hmm.
They're shooting themselves in the foot big time. Yeah, we're actually hoping to talk to Bill and even Robert Meyer Burnett about that a little bit soon again, considering he's been in the industry for years too and responsible for probably some of your favorite special editions, including, you know, The Next Generation and Lord of the Rings, just to name a couple. But yeah, so am I looking forward to this Apple Plus thing? No, there's nothing on it that really looks like it appeals to me. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in amazing stories maybe, but it's not enough for me to sign up for yet another thing. I already got Netflix, already got Hulu, already got Amazon. How many more things do they expect me? And I signed up for Shudder already through Amazon. So
how much is Shudder a month?
And then there's CBS All Access and crap. Shudder's not bad. Shudder's only like $5. I used to have Stars. Stars wasn't so bad at first. That was only like $5.99 for the longest time, and then they jumped it up to $9.99. And I'm like, screw that. You know.
Actually, what's also happening as a byproduct that telecoms are raising the price of their internet.
Oh, I used to have. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they are. They did it to me too.
Mm-hmm. Now the net neutrality has gone away, and because people are cord cutting, you think you're going to get away with not having cable TV? We're going to raise your internet.
Yeah, basically a large portion of what we make here on the channel goes towards just me paying the internet here. And I don't know how bad yours is, Rob, but we've talked about trying to get you better internet where you're at too, and we're sure that's going to cost more. But still, it's
I have very limited choice. I live in a town of about 100,000 people, and this is not
so small. Try 2,000.
Yeah. 5,000. This is a town that has it's not even in a rural area. It has there's a major Ivy League university here, and I have two choices for internet.
Well, that's probably why, because since it's a major league university, they probably have their own internet, and most people don't get internet, so it's not a city where people buy, and use it a lot.
Yeah,
you see, like here, the small guys got little monopolies on the area, so you get stuck with garbage and more.
One of the choices I have is Comcast, and that is even overpriced. That is so fucking overpriced. Pardon my language. We're not supposed to curse, Mary Highland, live in a town with 20,000 people. We have a major university branch. This town hall. They proposed a statewide initiative for municipal broadband, and this is the one way we can fight back. Publicly owned municipal broadband and cable television.
We need that. There's no reason we shouldn't have that.
Well, I think it's stupid that, when I was younger, it basically was the law that you had to be able to have access to television, and it was no big deal to buy, an antenna and get channels just about everywhere. Now, good luck with that, because if you're not within certain distance to get a good signal digitally, you're not going to get a signal. And what pisses me off is I shouldn't have to buy cable to be able to watch shit like The Orville free on Fox.com when network television is supposed to be free to everybody. And that's the way I see it now. Since the internet is basically like the new thing, they should be able to make all network channels, at least the main 4, free to everybody 24/7. There's no excuse. And I don't think that's why I should have to sign up with a cable channel or cable company. I understand if I'm trying to watch AMC or something like that, then I can understand that. But
okay, I'm just gonna bring up a map on the screen here. Screen share. This is a map of municipal broadband cities, community network. And like I said, Midnight, we don't really take sides, trying to take sides in political fights. But this is a fight we need.
Yeah, well, this is something that's been around forever. And isn't it the law? We have to have access to this shit. We have to.
Yep.
If a TV network broadcasts over the air, then a cable company should have it. But what I'm talking about is publicly owned fiber internet. Now, this map here shows you the cities that have municipal broadband networks. Open access, dark fiber portions of the city.
And now Deslock Rising says just get a digital antenna and get the major channels for free. If you had just heard what I said a little bit ago, I live in an area where it doesn't matter. I can get a digital antenna. It doesn't nothing comes in. I live too far away from anything to get a signal.
Mine, it has like a 150-mile radius for my digital antenna.
And of course, if you're living in a flat landed area, that probably works.
Yeah.
But if you don't know anything about like Wisconsin, you've been around here and you've been more down south where it is flatter, but up north where it's a lot more hillier and there's valleys and bluffs and everything, you're not getting those.
I'm in the mountains. I can see the mountains outside of my patio. So no matter, I can get everywhere from Denver to Cheyenne.
Yeah, well, take a look. The map I pulled up. Your broadband, your internet. Like I said, there's not a lot of choices here for Wisconsin, but Nebraska has zero. But what we're talking about, like you said, municipal broadband is like publicly owned, so that we're not at the whims of a corporation that can do whatever the hell it wants. Colorado has a lot of municipal broadband, quite a bit of municipal broadband coverage.
There's even like cities with like Fort Collins, I know, was trying. I think they were trying to get free broadband for everyone up there.
Yeah.
Mary Hayden would like to link for that in the chat if you can, Rob.
Absolutely. Here. It's actually, yeah. They proposed an initiative where I live 3 years ago. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be we're gonna be up and running in 3 years. We're gonna be it's gonna be super cheap. Your internet's gonna be $19.99 a month. And you're gonna have fiber optic speeds. You're gonna have all this speed. You're gonna have all this. So it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so great. We're on year 4, and there's no movement. The project is dead in the water. I don't want to say Comcast and Frontier killed it, but there's been absolutely no movement. And I actually emailed the head of the project. Well, we don't know how next to proceed. BS. Okay. And like I said, if you're out there and we don't take sides on a lot of issues. We try to take sides on issues, but this is a side we're taking.
Well, because this excuse.
Yeah, there's no freaking excuse. And this is, I keep saying, this is more than about Netflix and video games. This is about business. This is about connectivity. This is about education. This is a big deal.
Well, and not only that, what we're seeing here, let's face it, let's break it down. Again, we don't normally get into political shit, and this is not about political shit. This is about corporations. This is about, you brought up a few of the culprits already, but the rest are all the other phone companies that are trying to recoup their losses from everybody disconnecting their house phones and going to cell phones. So basically, I pay almost $20 a month just to not have a phone in my house so I have a connection. Because if I wanted a phone, it would only be like another $10-20. But since I don't need it, and I don't want it ringing off the hook with telemarketers, I just opt out and pay for the fee, quote unquote, so that my phone company will feed me internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to rent their line.
Yeah, my only other choice is if I take their shitty digital cable, which is a better choice than the other cable company in town. Because let's face it, this is such a rural area. The original cable company that's here has monopolized this area since I can remember. And it still isn't even digital. It's still not HD. It's all old school cable.
Yeah. Literally in 1997, like they had a meeting in Chicago. The telecoms had a meeting in Chicago. And if you ever saw The Godfather 2, they literally carved up the country just like they did in the Godfather. Like they were carving up that cake of Cuba. They said, all right, the sky's the limit, boys. All right, we'll take Chicago. You guys going to have Indianapolis. You guys going to have Dallas. I mean, this, and like I said, the internet, it's not like it was in the mid to early 90s. The internet plays a huge part of our lives now. It's a public, it should be treated like
having it's like having a telephone. It's like having electricity. There's a utility. It's like having television, because it is all those things. It's like having a library. It is everything. But am I wrong in thinking that like isn't something have to do with just like one company owning like 90% of all the fiber optic lines in the country? Like wasn't it like Global Crossing had that or something, and like they were crooked as shit, and like I think that was part of why we can't have just broadband everywhere, because we'd have to buy it from the people who have the fiber, who own the fiber optic lines.
Well, part of it is that in a lot of communities, whatever telecom company is already there, they own the poles. They most likely own the poles.
Exactly. And that's why they have, and I've tried to bring this up to the news organizations around here about how the phone company, and I'm probably going to get cut off now that I'm talking, how the phone company basically has a monopoly on this area. Because I used to work for an ISP in the next town over, and we got around them because the dial-up was dial-up. Well, then when everything started going up, that's why we got killed and basically went out of business or changed business. I, left and they changed their business. But that was because we couldn't get around anything, because we had to rent everything from everybody or pay for the lines like you guys are talking about. And that's what we ran into problems with all the time.
When Google introduced Google Fiber a few years back, a lot of the telecoms fought them tooth and nail to keep them out, because Google didn't actually want to go into the internet service provider business. They did it as what they called a shaming exercise. And we have talked about this before. They came in, they strung fiber, and they said, look, we're going to do it cheaper, we're going to do it better, and we are going to do it, and we're going to make the industry up its game. We're doing this so that everybody we could shame you into upping your game, providing better service to your customers. And you know what the president of Comcast said? You really don't want it. And besides, you wouldn't know what to do with it if you had it. I'm like, fuck you. Let me decide what I want, what I don't want. I'll tell what? Are you kidding me? Google Fiber was $120 a month for TV and gigabit internet in, I think it was Nashville, and in Kansas City, Kansas, and in Austin, Texas. I would give my left nut for those kind of speeds. Are you kidding me?
It's pretty sad when Andre's always like, I don't understand your guys' internet over there. It is so slow. The only time Andre has problems. I was trying to say trouble and problems at the same time. The only time he seems to have problems is when they're getting like a foot or two of snow.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine the snow gets heavy on the line. The line might snap, and whatever. But what Google also did was, they, rather than going on the poles when they couldn't get access to the poles on the above the street, what they did was they micro trenched it. They put the fiber optic in a conduit, and then they dug a 6-inch trench in the street right along the curb, took the asphalt out, laid the fiber down, and then filled it back in and put junction boxes at at intervals. And that's how that's the other way. It's like you can't impose a park. You already impose parking bans every 5 days around here. You can't impose a parking ban for a week. Hey guys, no parking outside of the street. Okay. Parking ban comes in. They did it last summer with fixing the mains, the water. Hey guys, no parking this side of the street on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Week of the 27th. All right, fine. All right, cool. No problem. You park a block up or whatever. Well, it can be done. It can be done. Just somebody has to have the balls to stand up to the telecoms. And it ain't going to be nobody we know right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be you, Rob.
That's what I always say. If I ran for mayor of my town, I would do is I would sign I would approve a measure improving the internet, and then I would call a new election in 3 weeks' time, and then immediately resign. That's exactly what I would do. Because I keep saying, I know I would be a terrible mayor. I just want one thing. I want better internet. That's all I want. It's amazing.
I think that's all anybody wants, because you're just sick of watching standard definition porn. Nobody should have to put up with that shit. It's just.
Well, yeah. But it can't. But the resolution can't get too clear. Last time I tried like high resolution porn, I bruised my penis on the screen.
Well,
It's a
whatever
little-
you do, you have
yeah, a little too real. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're making the keyboard out of these days, but it's non-stick. So, too much clickety clickety clack. So, I don't want to get. I don't want to get any of those. I don't want to. I don't want to get any of those. Computer viruses.
Damn, this itches.
So, anyway,
I think we about sufficiently beat
what else?
the show into submission.
Yeah, we have. What else? Yeah, what else? We said, like I said,
I think we covered everything.
I think we covered everything.
We didn't talk about the box office, but
or the
What?
Bond stuff. I'm surprised you didn't get the Bond.
Bond news.
Yeah, it's in the. I linked it. I pay
Let me-
attention. Rob likes Bond.
there's bondage news.
You
No,
do. You do. That's why you have a special place in my heart. James Bond 25 secretly begins shooting in. Oh, wait a minute! It's shooting in Norway.
Is Andre James Bond?
Somebody alert Andre.
Is Andre James
He
Bond?
could so be a Bond villain.
Ooh,
Yes, he could be. He could be.
yes.
I'm going to be Mr. Bond. I'm glad you could join me today.
I expect
I'm
you
going to
to die, Mr. Bond.
James Bond. Ryan
You'll
Scott. At
become
long
a
last,
Frankensteinian mess when I'm through with you.
At long last, it appears as though James Bond 25 has finally started shooting. This sequel has had a very long and complicated road to production. Between the issue of locking down a director, script, and the game of Daniel Craig being uncertain to whether or not he would actually return for one last go-round as the iconic MI6 spy. But that's all finally been settled on, at least for the most part, and according to multiple reports, production is underway on the 25th installment of the long-running franchise. Two different reports, one from the Daily Mail and one from a Bond fan site, which often has reliable intel on these productions, have both stated that James Bond 25 has started filming. Specifically, director Cary Fukunaga and Daniel Craig have made their way to Norway somewhat quietly in order to film one of the movie's key sequences. Sets have been built on the location, and per these reports, cameras got rolling today. Ooh. Where's my sound effects here? Hold on. I gotta bring up. Okay. Apparently, this is to film a sequence that will utilize a frozen lake in Norway. While the screenplay isn't finished yet, the lake will be melting in the coming weeks. And as the weather warms up, and since they need to get this footage, the decision was made to begin filming at least this sequence before the script is finished. So we may have a slight pause in the filming schedule before the bulk of it gets underway here in the relatively near future. Oh, I can't play the music. Monty Norman will give us a copyright strike. So that's... Are we demonetized yet, Tom?
Of course.
We are?
Always.
How are we demonetized? We didn't use any...
I don't think I swore even today. I probably.
Okay. Okay, well then all bets are off then. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, it's access my music. Okay. Yeah, shit. If you're demonetizing us, then let's see where is. Okay. If you're demonetizing, let's go all out then. Apparently, this is the film sequel. Okay. So we may have a slight pause film schedule, but even as a single frame footage being a big step, this project is truly a tough time getting to this point. Even after Daniel Craig announced it would come back for James Bond 25. After Spectre was released in late 2015, the hunt for a director proved to be challenging. Eventually, Danny Boyle, the Slumdog Millionaire, landed the job in somewhat surprising turn of events. However, he wanted to bring on-screen writer John Hodge Trainspotting to tell the story, which differed from what had been worked up to that point. Producers agreed, and they went off. And off they went. Just a handful of months later, creative differences got in the way, and Boyle departed. The script was once again visited by franchise regular lead purpose Robert Wade before Cary Fukunaga, Beast of No Nation, landed. The directing gig, it's now firmly in the hands of Scott Z. Burns of Bourne Ultimatum. They want to make it into a Bourne movie. Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody, is on board to play the main villain with Billy Magnuson. Game Night, also set to play a new character. Several key members, cast members, such as Ralph Fiennes, Naomi Harris, and Ben Whishaw are also expected to return. It's also expected that a press conference officially announcing the movie will be held on April 1. As it stands, James Bond 25 is set to arrive in theaters on April 8th, 2020. This news is previously reported by MI6HQ. So that's our James Bond news today. And Robot Shlomo will return. Okay, Random, we got to put on that white bikini now. So I had a female friend. She went to the beach. I said to her, "Yeah, I don't like the beach. I burn too easy, you know. But there is one way she can get me to go to the beach." She said, "How?" I told her, "Put on a white bikini and call me Mr. Bond." She said, "Okay." I said, "Wait, it's that easy?" She's like, "Yeah, Ursula Andress is hot." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but if I knew it was gonna be that easy, I would have asked a long time ago." It's like I said, since all bets were off, why not? Monty Norman.
You just have to worry about getting a strike, but you transformed it. It is transformative. You talked over it.
I talked over it. It is transformative. Well, we're still on the air, so. So. Okay, it is transformative. That's the whole thing. That's what counts. Okay, that's the news. That's. Oh, I forgot to make a note of Bond. Oh yeah, Bond 25. I did make a note of it. Okay. All right, what do you say we wrap it up then, Tom? What do you say?
Yeah, I got to get that editorial done. So we got some stuff to do, or at least I do. So, well, you got some stuff to do too. So
I do.
Well, I sent you the audio for that 100K thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll put some auto tune to that.
You sound just like this when I'm talking through the whole thing.
Scott Fretwell, James Bonds are good popcorn flicks for something to do. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Rob Lowe's James Bond hates the Beatles. How does he deal with the internal conflict? Quite well, actually. I think it's a music joke. You know, drinking a Bollinger 57 at anything less than 52 degrees is like listening to the Beatles without earmuffs. I think that's the line. Don't make Macarena a
imagine though, you know, that's something you got to imagine though. A lot of the people who create a lot of the stuff that we fell in love with to begin with and inspires a lot of the stuff that, you know, came about later on, like Star Wars in comparison to say Lord of the Rings. How much you want to bet Tolkien probably wouldn't have been a fan of Star Wars?
Oh no.
He probably been like, it's just a rip off of my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ian Fleming was
the gay robot.
Ian Fleming was an older guy, you know. I mean, he served in World War II. He probably would have been into classical music. I think he was into classical music. Transcended Cthulhu. Who thinks James Bond should be black? I have a whole thing about why James Bond kind of has to be white.
Would he even possibly even been not to interrupt you? I'm sorry, Rob, but would he even been possibly a fan of how they treat James Bond on screen per se, compared to what he's like in the books?
Probably not. I mean, the first few movies he was. I think the first couple movies are a pretty direct translation to screen to page. But I think he would have not objected, but I think he probably wouldn't have liked Moore's Bond. He definitely would not have liked Die Another Day.
There's very few authors that I can think of that have ever praised the movie version of their book. And most of those times, the author themselves wrote the screenplay.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. Captain April says we need a Bond girl name for me.
No,
Rebecca Random isn't Bond girl enough, right?
No.
Kinda is. It sounds like if there would be robots on there, kind of like the fembots. But no, gosh.
I mean, the thing about I mean, really, we need to go. We need to go back to like I want to see. And Robert Meyer Burnett was talking about this. I want to see the big battle again at the end of James Bond movie. I want to see like the army facing off against Goldfinger's henchmen. That kind of thing. Like Draco's guys on top of the Piz Gloria. Against Blofeld's guys. The guy with the flamethrower. The guy jumps off a cliff. It's stuff like that. Don't overthink James Bond. Like the end of For Your Eyes Only, that kind of thing. The end of You Only Live Twice. The big grandiose battle. I mean, we're getting stop trying to make Bond into Jason Bourne. Don't get me wrong. I love the Jason Bourne novels, but don't stop trying to make him into Jason Bourne.
Well, that's the same problem we have with like Star Trek and stuff.
Yeah.
Discovery. It's the same thing. You can do stuff that's fresh and new and exciting and turn things on their head and have fun with it, but there's always things that will legitimately make James Bond James Bond, and those are the kind of things that like Austin Powers and all the other parodies make fun of for that reason. And yes, some of that stuff's too cheesy to get away with now, but there's still ways of paying homage to it or doing a fresh take on it, and it's still feeling like Bond. Same thing with Trek, and that's where the constant like, oh, you guys are just old and you just want to watch TNG, just go watch TNG and shut up. No, it's like you can do new Trek stories, you can do different things within the universe and keep within the rules and the boundaries, and it still be fresh and different and exciting. Because like we've said with Orville, it's a lot like The Next Generation, but at the same time, it's a fresh, different kind of look at that kind of a story, to where you could slap Star Trek on it and it's much more Star Trek than Discovery is. And really, it's like the B crew. We've said that before. It's not the first crew you call when you got shit going down.
Yeah.
You get to see the bathroom, you get to see them after hours, and
having drinks. Yeah, even though they did have drinks in 10 Forward, and but I mean, this is that ship that just kind of that the Enterprise would have to bail out.
Right, they have so much free time on their hands because they're not that busy, because nobody wants to depend on them for anything. That's the whole point. Yeah,
it's not the flagship. Yeah, they're not the best and brightest. But Transcendent Cthulhu, I was saying about Bond can be black when Shaft becomes white. Never. Well, Michael Cera plays Shaft. That's where you have to go.
Oh God.
But I get your argument, Rob, and it's a sound argument with Batman too. But even that one, I'll lean more towards. You could probably make Batman black, and it wouldn't matter. But Bond, I totally understand your argument.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let me just explain for those who say who in the chat though about this, and I'll try to be as succinct as possible. For people who say Bond, we have to bring Bond into the 21st century. No, we don't, because Bond is supposed to be a relic of the Cold War. He's supposed to be a holdover from a less technological age. He's supposed to be a blunt instrument. He's not supposed to be, and he's supposed to be, and you call it toxic masculinity. He's supposed to be that way. He is supposed to be a womanizer. He's supposed to be a drinker. He is supposed to be a gambler. He is supposed to be slightly, misogynistic. That is what makes up his personality.
I personally don't. Oh, sorry, Rob. Finish. I thought you were done.
Yeah, but like you say, he's supposed to be all those he's supposed to have all those hyper masculine traits. And the minute you start pulling on any of those threads, the sweater becomes unraveled. And for the people who say, "Oh well, but we have to be different now," I'm like, no, we don't. You're a pussy. That's why we don't have to be different, because Bond is supposed to be an ideal that you are supposed to aspire to. It's not attainable. Because if you think about what describe his, like I said, the red letter media test, describe James Bond without describing his looks or his job. Yeah, he is educated, confident, knowledge of fine wines. He speaks multiple languages. He is what would you say?
Ladies man.
He's a ladies man. Exactly. He's a
gambler.
Shitty insurance, car insurance, because he probably wrecks a lot of it.
Yes, he's got a swagger about him. I mean, like I said, he get better tech though. Yeah, he got better tech. But the other thing about it is Bond is he's not fighting unlike Captain America, Bond is not trying to make the world a better place. He's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to be fighting to make the world a better place. He's not.
Spy. That's the other
He's
thing
a
I don't
spy.
get. Why is everybody always trying to make him holier than thou? I mean, okay, I'm not a big Bond fan, and this was going to say, and Larry said the same thing I'm about to say, so I'll get around to it. I'm not a Bond fan, but he's a spy. He's not meant to be like you said, Captain America, somebody we aspire to be so much more as. He's doing his fucking job. His job is to infiltrate and do whatever it fucking takes to get the job done, whether it's kill, fuck, or steal. You know what I mean?
Yes.
In that specific order, or not. It doesn't really matter.
No fucking steal, yeah.
I mean, really, let's break it down. What is Bond supposed to do? That is it. That's really what his job is. He's meant to be a backstabbing spy. He's not meant to be some hero. He's not meant to be a cop. He's not meant to be Bruce Willis in Die Hard. You know what I mean? He's not supposed to live up to some kind of everything he does is supposed to be undercover anyway. You're not supposed to know what he's doing. And Larry's right. They should just keep Bond in the 60s. I'm not a fan, so I can't really speak to this too much. I don't know how you feel about it, Rob, since you are. But I would see that making more sense is to just keep recasting the character, but just keep it in the 60s or 70s or whenever. And that's where I don't want to see Harrison Ford keep getting old and looking for artifacts, because sooner or later Harrison Ford is going to be the artifact we're looking for, because it's older and older. And it's like, no, you should just get Chris Pratt, keep it in the 40s or the 30s or whatever, because Indiana Jones should be looking for cool shit and fighting Nazis. That's what he does. You know, yeah. Why is that so difficult? I don't get it.
He's not a spy, like I said. He's an assassin. He's a blunt instrument, or as he says to
well, that too. But yeah, you get what I mean.
He says to the girl in Thunderball.
Sorry, my bad, Captain April. I'm not a fan, but I know of 007, the spy, James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
He's always been presented.
What he says to the girl at the spa he goes, "What exactly do you do?" "I'm a licensed troubleshooter." That's pretty much what he does.
Right. I mean, I'm not as attuned to what it is, but I get the idea, at least I think. I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, like Captain April did there, but still, I mean, he was always presented, as far as I knew, as a spy. My bad.
Yeah. But like I said, he was like, he's a spy. And for the people who say, "Oh well, he stands out in places like India and Africa," and I always say to them, "Good, that's the idea. He's supposed to stand out. He's not supposed to blend in. He's supposed to be a holdover from colonial Britain, where he shows up now years later, and they say, 'What's Whitey doing here?' He's not supposed to blend in Hong Kong or in Cape Town or in Botswana or in New Delhi or in Bangkok or in Thailand. I mean, he's supposed, like I said, he's supposed to stand out like a sore thumb, because they know, oh, geez, what's going on now that they have to send him here, you know. Well, it's like I said, he's a relic. He's a relic of a bygone era. And he's, like I said, he's not fighting to make the world a better place. He is trying to preserve Britain's place in the world and maintain the last vestiges of the British Empire. And I'm going to share something. I'm going to share, like I said, you want strong women? You want strong female characters? Yeah, you do. You complain about? There you go. Okay. There you go. Fiona Volpe. There's your strong female character. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, hello. Hey, how you doing, baby? Ooh, yeah. Look, she's got red hair just like Mecca. Oh, not quite just like Mecca, but
less cartoonish.
Yeah. Yeah, there's your strong female character. So I think it was right.
Damn it.
So no. But anyway. Like I said.
Giggity.
So anyway. It's been full of strong female characters, the Bond series. There you go. There's a good picture of her right there when she gets off the motorcycle. Oh yeah. Imagine me as a young man seeing her atop that motorcycle. I'm like, damn. I don't know who that is, but I want to know. I want to know more. It's like, so anyway, that's my take on it. But okay. Partial butt shot.
I think we've dragged this well over an hour now. So
Okay, yeah, let's wrap this up. So that's my tirade on Bond. And okay, if you like what we do, Fonka Jansen, yes. If you like what we do, and why wouldn't you? Click like, subscribe, the bell icon. You're notified of all the latest comment. MEAD channel, like, subscribe, bell icon over there. Check out our new Critters video. Go ahead to Patreon before while we don't have a better alternative for right now. You can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, behind the edge, making of videos, and more. And as I always say, if you don't have the means to support us on Patreon, you can like, subscribe, share the videos, let the ads play. That helps us out a lot because, as I always say, we cannot do this without you. Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I am MechaRandom42. I complain about Star Trek Discovery and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, apparently. Also, make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube has been unsubscribing people and sending out the wonkiest notifications and suggestions and everything. So yeah, YouTube's messing with everybody, I think, lately. Yeah, I have Twitter, Patreon, all that stuff. So subscribe.
Last time I do somebody a favor.
Okay, everybody. Hey, go check out our friends. Actually, Doomcock just dropped a new video. Doomcock dropped a new video about STD. I was wishing I was a motorcycle. Yeah. Go check out JP over at Egotastic Fun Time. Check out Nitpicking Nerd. Check out Clownfish TV. Check out Professor Geek. Check out actually, we gotta have the Fan Man on pretty soon. Fan Man, if you're out there listening, we gotta check out Captain April. Captain April needs more subs. Yes. And not just at Subway. Go to check out Captain April's channel. Yeah, smash the like button, lick the like button, do whatever it takes to the like button, please. Just whatever. And so, like I said, and as I always say, we don't like to get political, but if you have a municipal broadband effort in your area, call your local officials, call your congressman, let them know you support it because it helps all of us. It really does. That's a cause that, like I said, we want to get behind because it makes connecting to the show easier and it makes our jobs easier and it helps. It's just better. Equal access and education in terms of education and commerce. It helps. Okay, everybody.
Talking over each other like I just did to Rob there, that'll help too because that's half the problem is the delays and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody takes a pause and you think they're done talking or whatever, and then you end up talking over into the person's mouth or whatever.
Talking over into the person's mouth.
Phrasing, boom.
So exactly.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Oh, it's only 9:30. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll catch you next time.
Damn, this itches.
What the hell was that? Hey! I like big Asian butts, and I cannot lie.
You're fired.
Why don't I go find your pants?
See what happens when you piss me off?